Thousands of years ago, man walked this earth with many great beasts, from the woolly mammoth to the giant camels of North America, from the woolly rhino to the saber-toothed cats. All these animals have now disappeared. But what if some have actually lingered on to today? From the mountains and jungles of the world, reports remain of saber-toothed cats still existing. Are these just figments of our imagination, or do they truly still exist? Join us today as we look into the Ennedi Tiger and other cryptid saber-toothed cats.
Alright, everyone, welcome back to
Unknown.
Unsolved.
Unseen.
Woo! Triple U with a guest.
So, yeah, we have a guest today. This is our friend, Kelsey.
Hello.
So she's joining us for the first time.
From the Hoy up in New York, we got an out-of-state bestie joining us today.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. All the way out in good old Rochester.
Woo! Yay, New York.
Yeah. So hopefully this is your first of multiple visits here to the podcast.
I sure hope so.
You excited to be here?
Absolutely. I've been looking forward to this for the past month that we've been talking about it.
Good. I was looking for a good episode, and I thought this would be a good one to start off on. And this is
Absolutely.
the first one where we're trying intros here, because I hope that might help the episodes out. We're seeing some growth, but I want to see what we can do to improve it. So I'm just going to get into the first thing today. My announcements, as per usual. Carbondale UFO game, April 12th at Wilkes-Barre, Scranton Penguins. I think the arena is in Wilkes-Barre. I think so. I don't know. It covers two cities, the name of the team. So that's April 12th. Cryptids and Curiosities, also April 12th. In Hagerstown, Maryland. I put the stuff up for that. And then the first weekend of March, which is approaching, we'll have the Loveland Frog Festival in Loveland, Ohio, which I said the details of that 2 episodes ago. I did recently see a list of a lot of other cryptid and whatnot things happening this year, so I'll update that as time goes on. But there's a lot happening this year.
I don't think that I realized, how much cryptid stuff was out there until we started, doing the podcast and looking into it. It's since every freaking weekend, I feel like there is some, cryptid festival going on.
All right, Kelsey, have you ever been to any cryptid festival or UFO festival?
I have not.
Let me check the map for you, because you said where you're at, which is... Oh, okay. So, So if you go, I'm checking this real quick. I'm doing some directions for you. All right, Kelsey, the nearest one that I'm familiar with for you is only 5 hours, 8 minutes away.
Nice. Is it out towards New York City?
Nope, it's in Plattsburgh, the Lake Champlain, the stuff for Champ.
Isn't there a Lake Erie cryptid?
Yeah, but that one's more celebrated in Ohio.
Let's get back to the topic at hand.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to hear about cryptid kitties.
So, for today's episode, we're going global. We're going to be covering a topic that spans from North America, South America, Africa, and Asia. We're doing another cryptid episode. Woo! These are the ones I love most. So, for starters, do either of you know what the Ennedi Tiger is? Or what any of the water tigers, water lions, or mountain tigers are?
No.
I didn't hear about them until now.
Alright, well, much do you know about saber-toothed cats?
They have really big teeth.
How about you, Sage? What do you know?
Diego!
Diego
from Ice Age. Oh,
That's how I know they got big teeth.
when I was younger, I was Sid the Sloth. As I grow older, I turned into Diego. I'm angry at the world and everybody around me.
I feel that.
Oh my goodness.
I'm kidding, guys. I'm like a really happy-go-lucky person all the time.
No, you aren't.
Ouch.
You gotta be real with the fans.
Yeah.
So, today we're going to be looking into saber-toothed cat cryptids around the world. I've been looking forward to this episode for quite some time, and I'm going to be honest, I was up till 3 a.m. last night writing this because, oh my god, there is so much to this. It was more than what I imagined.
He's been like writing this episode for days.
Yeah, well, part of the thing, I'm going to be honest, the hardest thing on writing is going from my document to the next tab because these are not English words I'm using. I'm going to butcher so many words today, and I had to keep checking spelling.
Mm.
A lot of them had like things on them, on the letters, and I don't know how to type those, so I lost a lot of those when I was putting names in.
That's fair.
Okay, so real quick, I want to let everyone know that all sources will be in the show notes. That I want to give a shout out to Truth is Scarier Than Fiction, also known as Legendary Cryptids on Twitter and Blue Sky and Instagram. He has a great cryptozoology YouTube channel, and I DM'd him for help on where to look up for this topic and another one that's coming up because these are crazy large topics that I didn't really realize how big they were. I knew it would be a whole episode's worth, but man, there's more than when you dig into it. I appreciate the help he gave me and pointed me in the right direction, and for another episode coming around the beginning of April. So besides that, you guys ready to get into this?
Ready as I'll ever be.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So, today's cryptids we're covering are based on actual animals we know really existed in prehistoric times, for the most part. So, I'm going to start with an overview of saber-toothed cats and other important facts about cats. So, do either of you two know how the classification of cats is broken down into? I know, Sage, I told you briefly this week, but do you guys know?
No.
No.
All right, well, cats are broken down into two subfamilies. That's for living cats. The Pantherinae and the Felinae. Pantherinae are the big cats. Lions, tigers, leopards, and jaguars. These are cats that can roar but do not purr. And then the Felinae is the remaining over 30 species of cats. The two largest cats in the group are the mountain lion of North America and cheetahs. So they're big cats, but they are in the Felinae. So these cats can purr but cannot roar. So, a mountain lion and cheetah cannot roar, but the mountain lion is the fourth largest cat in the world.
If not friend, why purr?
It's kind of cute that they can purr.
Yeah, I'm thinking of like a cheetah as it's like chasing down a gazelle. It's like purring somehow. I was gonna try to purr and then I realized I can't. I don't know how to do it.
See, big cats can try and imitate it, but they cannot actually purr, and big cats can't. What's it called? Can just straight up roar, but a small cat, it comes out like a hiss or not even close to a roar. Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
Oh, thank you.
So that's how cats work. And then there is a third subfamily that recently went extinct because all current existing cats belong in either of those two subfamilies, the Pantherinae or Felinae. The third one that went more recently extinct is, let me try and say it. I haven't said this out loud. Macariodontinae. Macariodontinae? I think so. This is a lineage that contains the saber-toothed cats. Some of those include Homotherium, Smilodon, Dinofelis, and Meganterion. The last of the species for these were Homotherium and Smilodon going extinct between 13,000 and 10,000 years ago, which is extremely recent when you're talking timeline-wise of the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, that is really close. I mean, like you said in the intro, right? Like humans were alive at that time. That's crazy.
There's human skulls that have been punctured by saber teeth, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's terrifying.
What a way to go. So, saber-toothed cats were found in many areas around the world. They started out in Africa and spread out from there. So you can find them in Asia, Africa, Europe, North America, and South America. Every continent besides Australia and what's it called? Antarctica.
Hmm.
Because Australia don't got any placental mammals. These are placental. But fun fact, there is a saber-tooth marsupial that convergently evolved to be like Smilodon.
What is it?
Thylacosmilus.
Oh.
And you guys have seen how saber-toothed cats, they're like their teeth hang down, right?
Of course, I've seen Diego.
Mm-hmm.
So what if they had pockets for it?
That would be incredible and actually kind of cute.
Well, let me introduce you to Thylacosmilus.
Does it have like a non-genus name?
No, it's just Thylacosmilus, which they did live alongside. Kelsey, I'm sending you a picture of what a Thylacosmilus would look like. If you look,
Oh my gosh.
it has stuff built on its chin for like its teeth. What
I
are you
love
looking for
that.
one?
Yeah. Wait, is this like extinct now?
Yes, it's extinct. We only have reconstruction to the Thylacosmilus.
Oh, okay.
But
Oh.
it was a marsupial.
Gotta
was-
keep those teethers protected at all costs.
Is it a pouch or is it like a? Is it?
I think it's not necessarily a pouch, but skin.
I was gonna say it doesn't look like that goes into it.
No, but
just
still,
looks like it
that's like
Sits next to it.
some have sometimes interpreted it almost as like a pouch
I wonder if it's for like if they're self-grooming,
to clean off the teeth.
that or it prevents the teeth from like poking them.
Could be. You know what's tough about studying
Oh.
stuff with saber teeth? They're all extinct, so we can't see them in action. Well, allegedly extinct. Because saber teeth are debated on how they were used a lot, because they are fragile, and mammals, unlike reptiles and stuff, do not regrow their teeth when they lose it. So if you're biting something and it bucks, and you break that tooth, you are without that tooth for the rest of your life.
And that'll kill you.
It very much can kill you. So it's a very interesting thing. So
Is it more like for fear then?
no, it definitely had a purpose if it convergently evolved multiple times. Because if you look, the Permian before the dinosaurs, the therapsids and synapsids, which are similar, they're like reptile-like mammals. They also had saber teeth, and there are other, I think they're called bobophilids or something. No, barbarophilids, similar to cats but not cats. Before them, they also evolved saber teeth. So it's happened multiple times in history. There's a purpose to them. I think the belief is once you wear down the animal, it bites into the throat, puncturing it and killing it.
Okay. I don't know how that. I guess my brain can't comprehend how that works if the teeth are only on the top. Like,
You bite under the throat. You come from underneath.
okay.
And I think these animals.
It doesn't seem like biting motion though. It seems more like a snake.
I don't know.
But if they're that fragile, wouldn't they break?
Well, the idea is I think they like because this is what I saw in Walking with Walking with Beast, a documentary from the late '90s. Like they would swarm on the animal like how lions do, and when the animal's tired and can't really move because of all the weight on it and being exhausted, one goes in for the kill and gets on the neck and punctures the neck.
Okay, so it's puncturing it, not really
And that's how
biting
dogs.
it.
Yeah, that's how dogs kill stuff. Is they puncture the neck, which is where we get some chupacabra. What's called allegations on coyotes with mange because dogs will puncture and bleed animals out.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm bringing up a lot of other cryptids in this. So
That's okay.
So many people know Smilodon as the saber-toothed tigers, but fun fact, tigers and Smilodon were very well removed from one another. Their most common ancestor was probably 10 million years ago. So calling them saber-toothed tigers is very incorrect for them.
Why do we do that then?
Because this big cat must be tiger.
It's big cat. Why not tiger?
Yeah. So quite a few of the large Macarodontinae had short tails as well, which we don't see in many cats today. The cats we see with small tails are like bobcats and lynxes. So that's it. That is an important fact. So with that, are you two ready to get into the saber-toothed cat cryptids of the world?
Sure am.
Heck yeah.
Perfect, because there is a lot of them. Okay, that was the end of page 1 of my notes. I go to page 8 of going. I have 7 pages of these.
Let's dive in.
So cryptid saber-toothed cats, for starters, are found throughout the world and are often referred to as mountain tigers, tigre de montaña. I think that's how you say it. That's French. Tigre dantero, which is Spanish, water tigers, and water lions. Most of the names for these animals, actually not most, all of these names for these animals are not English based. French Creole, regular French, Spanish, various tribes in Africa. That's where a lot of these names come from. So I'm going to butcher most of these. So, for starters, we're going to go to where saber-toothed cats began, Africa. This is a land full of alleged saber-toothed cats, and I will be going over each of them one by one. I will try to describe them and any sightings to the best of what I could find during my research. There are some lesser-known ones that have not as much information that I didn't list on here. And actually, before I go into this, I want to let you know that most information on saber-toothed cat cryptids come from a few sources. Bernard Heuvelman, who is the father of cryptozoology, is the one who really did a lot of the research on these. Karl Shuker, Dr. Karl Shuker, who's a British cryptozoologist, did a lot of the research on these too, and a lot of this is presented in George Eberhart's encyclopedia on cryptids and the book Cryptozoology of Cats by Karl Marshall. So those are my 4 main sources.
No Lauren Coleman?
Oh yeah, I forgot to really look at Lauren Coleman's book, but Lauren Coleman really just cites Bernard Heuvelman stuff.
Oh, okay.
Man, I forgot to read that section. I just realized I forgot that from my notes. But Lauren Coleman doesn't do much with saber-toothed cats.
But he does cryptids, right?
Yeah.
I'm not wrong on that?
Yeah, no, he does a lot of cryptids. Lauren Coleman's one of the biggest cryptozoologists right now. Him and Karl Shuker, if you're talking about living cryptozoologists, they are huge in it. And if you're talking about past away, Bernard Heuvelman and Ivan T. Sanderson are the 2 of the big ones. Sanderson focused, I think, more on hominids, and Heuvelman focused on just about everything. I really hope I'm not butchering his name either. So I will try and describe each of these and the sightings to the best of what I could find during my research. Some of these cryptids actually overlap and are kind of synonymous with one another, so I would try and point that out where I can. So the first one we're going to look at is the one who's part of the title, the Ennedi Tiger. Sometimes it is known as the Ennedi Mountain Tiger or the Tigre de Montaña, or Montaña, I think is how you say it. A lot of Tigre de Montañas are like, that's almost a catch-all term for a lot of these cryptid cats. And sometimes the Ennedi Tiger is a catch-all term, and sometimes it's not. So that's where this becomes difficult. So, the Ennedi Tiger is a Tigre de Montaña that is alleged to live in the country of Chad, in the mountainous areas known as the Ennedi Plateau, Tibetsi Mountains, and Guer Massif, which I think is mountainous areas too. So, the description of the Ennedi Tiger comes from tribes in the area. The best descriptions come from the Ulos tribe. It is described as a larger than a lion, reddish fur with white stripes, no tail or extremely short tail, longer fur on its paws, and 2 large teeth that hang out of the mouth. Saber teeth is a better way to describe it. The long fur on their paws allegedly erases their tracks as they walk, making physical evidence hard to record. They are reported to live in the mountains and caves of the area. They are strong enough to hunt and kill large antelope and drag the dead bodies to the caves with minimal effort, which is not easy for an animal to just drag something that large. That is a whole lot of weight put into the head and a lot of muscle power you need. So the Ennedi Tiger is also claimed to be nocturnal, so primarily hunting at night. The animal first came to Westerners' attention in the 1950s and caught the eyes of some by the 60s. And in the 60s and 70s, a French trophy hunter, writer, presenter, and topographer, Christian Lenoel, became a major researcher in the Tigre de Montagne and water lions, which we'll get into in a bit. One method he did was show native trackers pictures of various big cats and included depictions of Smilodon in the options. And trackers would identify the Smilodon as the cryptid cats they had been seeing. He did record an interesting sighting and actually had a kind of encounter himself.
Hmm.
What are you guys thinking so far of this one?
I'm curious about the fur on the feet. I've
Yeah.
been trying to picture this.
I don't know either because it's described on more than one of these cats.
Is it like,
Interesting.
you know how like Saint Bernard dogs and stuff have fur that like goes?
Between their
don't-
toes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hmm.
But what's
Maybe.
annoying is it would be great to compare this against like fossils of saber-toothed cats, but fur does not fossilize in most cases.
Yeah. What's the
No, it does
evolutionary
not.
benefit?
Covering its tracks so it can't be followed. Because say you take a kill and you walk away with it, say a pride of lions sees your tracks and they want to take your kill, or a bunch of hyenas. Because that's one thing actually known in Africa is hyenas will take kills from other animals. If a cheetah kills something and a hyena challenges it for its kill, the cheetah's not going to win. A hyena will take it down because cheetahs have fragile bones, and the hyenas in Africa are one of the only animals that can break bones. Because breaking bones with a bite force is a rare evolutionary trait. T-Rex had it, but hyenas have it, so they can get into bone marrow and easily bully other animals off of kills if they have the numbers.
Could it be sound too?
That too, possibly.
Oh yeah, could reduce noise.
I'm also thinking of that too.
Or
That
like protection for the pads of the feet too?
could be. So for
I'm
his
sorry, the beans,
the toe beans,
the toe beans.
the possibly
Keep them
saber-toothed cat
safe.
toe beans. So for this for Danoel's encounter, he was out with a native tracker and they were approaching a cavern. As they got closer, an animal within the cavern let out a loud roar, which was, um, which we learned earlier, only certain cats can roar. Danoel could not identify it, which is interesting for a trophy hunter who is seasoned in Africa. Because he was, if you remember, he was doing these expeditions in the 60s and 70s. He was well versed in the area, but he could not identify what the animal was. But the native tracker knew that it was the Ennedi Tiger. This terrified him, and he wouldn't go any further, and they did not approach the cavern to see what it was.
Oh wow.
Which, bummer for us that we don't know what it truly was, but many
I
of
feel
us.
like that's smart though.
What'd you say?
Smart of them to not
Yeah,
keep going.
that's what I was going to say. Many of you out there will probably think, why not go figure out if this cryptid is real or not? But let's remember something. If this truly is a living saber-toothed cat, then this is an extremely dangerous animal that could actually kill them easily, probably. Like, you got to remember sometimes when people are cryptid hunting, if you're looking for Bigfoot or not, like if some of these animals are real, they are dangerous animals, and you should not corner a dangerous animal. Because when an animal is cornered, like, because if this thing's living in a cavern and you approach it in the cavern, you're trapping it in there.
And it's especially bad if it has children.
Yeah,
Like having cubs.
well, there's so many scenarios here that like it is so dangerous to risk approaching an animal like this.
I feel like it's dangerous to risk approaching most
oh yeah,
wild animals. Like if anyone wants a good laugh, look at the Taurons of Yellowstone Instagram page. It's pretty much just people being idiots at Yellowstone, and a lot of them are like people like trying to get close to bison and stuff. And I'm like, they will literally fuck you up.
Yeah, I see
Like,
people get attacked by bison, moose, elk, like just because not going to eat you doesn't mean it's not going to fight you. Because animals do not like you getting in their space.
I'm not gonna eat you, but I will sure as hell fight you.
And how's that animal supposed to know that you mean it no harm? You could be there to hunt it or attack it.
I don't hunt or attack people. I'd just like to point that out, but I will fight people.
So, on this, the next thing that was reported was a report by locals given to De Noël. They took him to a rock cave where it was alleged that an Ennedi Tiger once lived there. One of his trackers, whose name was Djeme, is Djeme. Djeme?
Or is it pronounced like Y?
I have no idea.
EMA.
I don't know if this is whenever the French basically gave him names down there, or if that's his like traditional name. I don't know.
Just do your best.
He had seen it with his father in a hunting party in the 1940s. He said that they had killed a horse antelope, an animal that weighs 300 kilograms or 660 pounds. They were going to skin their kill when a mountain tiger came out from the brush, and took their kill. It dragged the horse antelope's corpse without any trouble. This terrified them and dumbfounded them at what they had witnessed. So, I'd probably be scared if I was hunting. You get your kill and then this large animal that you've rarely seen with giant saber teeth just takes your kill and goes off to the brush without any effort.
Yeah, I'd be heading home after that, because, no thank you. I don't want to be his next meal.
Yeah, so they had to go back to the village without any kill for food. So that's a bummer, but like at least they got out with their lives because that could easily go in the other direction.
At least they're alive.
Yeah, so that's the two main reports of the Ennedi Tiger here.
I feel like even though they're alive, which is great, I don't know, I feel like the PTSD, like nightmares that I would get from that would be insane.
I don't want to sound rude, but this is a tribe that probably lives life and death very often.
Yeah, well, I'm talking mostly myself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't leave my home probably ever again knowing that is nearby. No, thank you. If it can drag a 600-pound animal that easily, it can toss me in the air and rip me to shreds.
Fair.
That's what bison do.
Oof. No thanks.
So, those are the main two reports, and we're going to move on to more of the mountain tigers, and then we'll get on to the water lions. So, the next is Wanjilanko. I think that's how Wanjilanko? Yes, Wanjilanko.
Wanjilanko.
That might be better. The Wanjilanko is a saber-toothed cat reported in the Casamance forest of southwest Senegal. It is described as larger than a lion, 2 large fang-like teeth, and striped and spotted fur with green in it, which is unlikely that that's naturally occurring. And sometimes it was described as potentially melanistic, so all black. It was nocturnal and lived in caves, and it would hunt lions and be known as a lion killer. However, if you notice, I've been using the term "was," as most lions have been eradicated from Senegal, and a lot of other wildlife too.
Forgive me, but could you please tell me where that is?
So if you look at Africa, you know how like the west end juts out to the left?
Mm-hmm.
So it's along the coast of the southern part, like where it begins in the curvature, beneath the Saharan desert.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And so I said was on this, was it saying as wildlife in Senegal has plummeted. This is for multiple reasons like war, deforestation, hunting, and poaching. When the remaining big cats in there ever go out of like national forests or parks, they get killed like immediately. So the primary source for this cryptid comes from Karl Shuker, who got his source from naturalist Owen Burnham. Burnham grew up in Senegal. From Burnham's accounts, it suggested that if the Wanjilanko existed, it is most likely extinct now and not believed to still be around by locals. He claims some hunters still remembered seeing them from before, but the hunters would say that they're gone now, that they are extinct and they've been killed out. So this is unfortunate, really. So this one, hunters in the area said it definitely existed, but killed them all and all their food source and everything. They were known as lion killers, though.
Well, I mean, that's not the first time we've heard that animals have been pushed from their natural habitats because of humans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Goodbye, rhinos.
Let's not get all sad here yet. So, let's move on to the next cat. This is the Yasuo. So the Yasuo is reported in the Ouaddaï highlands of eastern Chad. So this is another Tigre de Montagne, and is grouped in sometimes with the Ennedi Tiger, from what I could find. It was first reported by Lieutenant Colonel Andre J.V. Desberth de Anelet. That's a huge name. He wrote a book about it, and I'm just going to give the English title of the book. I'm not giving you the French title of it, because I'm not going to butcher that. It's Through French Africa. He writes about a mysterious leopard-like mystery cat called the Yasuo. He claimed it had some bear-like qualities to it. For example, it walked on the soles, being a plantigrade animal, where cats are digigrade animals, which I think it's like they walk on their toes. So,
Okay.
which for for walking on your soles, that's something bears do, but cats do not. However, this is something that's more recently debated. Homotherium, the saber-toothed cat, partially walked on its soles, so that gives it some credence here. And the Yasuo is alleged to be a very aggressive animal as well to people.
That seems a theme amongst these large cats.
Yeah. Oh, I'm going to break that trend actually with the next one.
I spoke too soon.
There's a nice one?
I wouldn't call it nice necessarily, but our next cat is the Hagel, which is also known as the Hagel or Biscoro. This is another one that overlaps with the Ennedi Tiger, sometimes being lumped in. This one is a bit more interesting. It's described similar to the Ennedi Tiger, being red fur with white stripes, larger than a lion, short tail, and two fang-like teeth, but there is some divergence here. It is claimed that it has a mane similar to that of a lion, which we don't see described on the other mountain tigers. Apparently, it only hunts small prey, unlike the Ennedi Tiger. As for the Hagel, it is painful to open its mouth up too wide, also causing it to eat slowly. They have little offspring, so like not many, and reside in Chad, specifically the mountains around the Temki. People in the area who saw it claimed it was terrifying to see, but also not at the same time because of its struggles to open its mouth, making it less dangerous than a lion.
This one sounds very cute, honestly.
Yeah, I really hope some of these are somehow real, but I'll get into that later. So next, we got the Grum. I think it had like the A has the triangle over it. So the next one is another one that overlaps with the Ennedi Tiger again. We're going to keep seeing that, and it might be the same animal. So the Gassengram, which I'm 100% butchering, is in the Central African Republic in the mountains. They prefer to live in the mountains and caves and are primarily nocturnal. They are described as larger than a lion, reddish-brown fur, small ears, and long fangs. An interesting additional description is that the eyes are like headlights, which is probably just light reflecting, as bioluminescent lights have not been proven in mammals yet, or like any animals, and sometimes it's just to like stir up fear and legends. I feel like. So the name is debated, with some claiming that Gassengram isn't the same, but a mistranslation, and that it's really a Vasoko or Koj de Jinj. I think that's how you say it. I don't know how to say these words. With that being said, do you guys want to get into those two other cats I just mentioned?
Yeah?
Oh,
Yes?
okay. Sorry.
I couldn't tell if that was rhetorical or if you wanted me to actually tell you that. Yeah.
I could not tell either.
It's in the script for me.
Nice.
So, sorry if these are getting hard to follow because there's so many of them.
It's okay.
It was getting hard for me last night. So, the Vasoko is the next one we'll be looking at, which is reported from Bararo. Barrow? No, sorry. Barrow. I'm going to say that's how I'm going to say it. In the Central African Republic. This one is a considerably large cat, larger than the others. It's described to be as large as a horse, which is crazy large for a cat. There's no cat that big. Its head is held low, has dog-like ears, and long fangs. The color of its fur is not clear and isn't described that much, and it has the glowing eyes like the Gassengram. It does share the Ennedi Tiger's description of hairy feet to clear its tracks. So it lives in mountains and caves like many of the other ones we've gone over already, but is known to roar and sounds like an elephant. It is described as aggressive and will carry its prey on its back, which isn't seen in any other cats and would require a lot of strength. It's sometimes seen also with butterflies following it, which is a weird additional fact.
What?
Yes.
That is so strange.
That was noted in one of my sources, that sometimes butterflies are known to follow it. Does that give us any information? No.
It's giving me Harry Potter vibes from the video game.
Okay.
I don't know why.
It's giving me like scary creature, but then butterflies flying behind it makes me think it secretes some sort of sweet scent. And it's actually like a majestic animal.
Horse-sized cat, but butterflies. Giant scary teeth, but butterflies.
The butterflies change the whole view of that creature.
This is the reading trope, Grumpy Sunshine. When there is one character who's in the pair that is like real dark, angry all the time, things like that, and then the other character's like the epitome of the sun.
So I'm going to move on to our next one. This one I'm butchering name 100%. Next is the Coj de Ginge, which is, in case anyone was wondering if I'm saying this right, it's COJ-DJINGE.
Oh.
How the hell do I say that?
Couldn't tell you. I also can't picture those letters in a row in my head.
It doesn't look
Me
pretty.
neither.
So after the Vasoko, let's go with the Coj de Ginge. I'm totally butchering that name too. I put in my script. That's true. This one also has fang-like teeth and red fur, and that's about it for that one that I have for information.
That's literally it.
That's all I found. There were ones with less information, and I'm getting to one of them soon.
Where's it from?
Same area.
Okay.
And then we have the Ennedi Tiger. So this one's actually a bit different. In the Ennedi Mountains of South Sudan, which this is the other side of Africa, there are sightings of an alleged saber-toothed cat. The Ennedi Tiger. It was spotted in 1959 by workers, but some believe it was actually a Ennedi bear that was being spotted, which is a whole other cryptid which will get its own episode one day. It's another one that has a good chance of existing, well, had existed, potentially extinct now. So, yeah. And I also haven't gone into some of the possible explanations for these because I'm saving that for the end. Okay. So, the next is cave lion in Mali, which I guess are saber-toothed cave lions alleged in Mali. That's all I have.
That's it?
Yes.
Why? Like, that doesn't make any sense.
It was on the website, so I'm just throwing it out there.
Okay.
But I'm talking about really, really random obscure cryptids. This is a grab bag of an episode, so cut me some slack. So, that's what we have for mountain tigers of Africa. We're going to get into the other half of the African saber-toothed then with the water lions, which, unlike the mountain-dwelling mountain tigers, these cats stick to the wetlands and rivers and lakes of Africa. There's a lot more of them than mountain tigers, and there's so many random regional names, but I did not go over as many because some of these are like catch-all terms or there's almost nothing for them.
That's like when I did the Yeti episode.
Yep. Except I actually could have gotten you information on some of those random Yeti variants. I found some of that when researching this.
Whoops.
So, real quick, first thing is, people think cats are typically afraid of water, but actually, when you look at a lot of cats that exist, water is something a lot of cats will swim and do not mind it and actually like water. Like tigers swim, jaguars swim. Jaguars will jump into the water and take out caimans and pull them out and kill them.
I didn't know that there was like a mutual understanding that cats didn't like water.
That's what some people think.
I just assumed because, like, when I think, unfortunately, of like tigers and lions and stuff that are in zoos, like they swim a lot.
Yep. Kelsey, what do you think about cats? Did you think they were afraid of water?
No, not really.
But you know where that's coming. Like, do you know about that stereotype though? Or
I don't know if it's the same stereotype you are getting at, but I have 2 cats. One, terrified of water. He will not go near it. He will just drink what's in his bowl. My other cat loves the water. Like, bath time is his favorite.
Because there's an idea, and like I definitely saw this a lot, like in cartoons growing up, but like cats would be afraid of water, but in reality, most cats are not. So that's where we're going to go with these water tigers now. So let me pull my notes back up real quick. So we're going to go starting with the Cigau menia, or I think that's how you say it. So our first water lion is the Cigau menia. This is an interesting one. It's described as a little smaller than a hippo, which is once again massive for a cat. It has large fang-like teeth and hunts hippos, and its tracks are similar to that of an elephant. Not the most cat-like qualities, I must say. It is nocturnal and an ambush predator, and there's reports in 1930 of a Portuguese truck driver who heard that one killed a hippo and eventually found the body mutilated, but never eaten. So it kills hippos, but does not eat them.
Why?
That's so mean.
I don't know. I really don't know. I'm going to be honest. A bunch of these water tigers, water lions, and whatnot, there's so much that I struggle to understand and grasp on these. That's why I didn't do too much digging into them. I dug a little bit into it, and also I'm running out of time because this took me more than I imagined. The next is the Delali of southern Chad and the Central African Republic. It is 5 foot long and 3 foot tall, size of a horse apparently, but that is not the dimensions of a horse.
Mm-mm.
It has a mane, hairy legs, lion-like claws, and tusk-like teeth, so saber teeth. They eat fish and plants and kill crocodiles and hippos, but do not eat them, which doesn't make sense because cats are, I believe the term's obligate carnivores. Like cats have to eat meat; they cannot eat off of meat. Some animals can eat a little bit off of meat. I think dogs can, but cats have to strictly stay to meat.
Okay.
So that's where a plant-eating cat makes no sense from what we know.
Yeah, I guess like when I'm thinking about cat foods, it is all meat-based.
Yep, and that's what's supposed to be.
But like Marley's food is chicken and rice.
Dogs are more lenient on that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so the description gets a bit wacky on this one, as some potential explanations are elephants and potential living Calicotheres, which is a different type of extinct mammal.
Calicotherium?
Yes, that is one. Did you know that name?
Yeah, that's why I said it. I don't know what it is. I just know that I know the name.
There's 2 different types of them, but the one that people typically see, it walks on its knuckles, on its front hands, and then back it's like normal feet. It almost has like a horse-like head, and if you've ever seen how like a giant ground sloth walks, it's almost like that.
Okay, I was picturing a giant ground sloth in my head.
Yeah, similar in walking. Calicotheres look weird, and they're all extinct.
Where do I know that from?
I'm pretty sure I made you watch a video on them a while ago, but
that would make sense. That would make a lot of sense.
There's a Calicothere sage.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was picturing in my head, except I was picturing like an anteater head, not a horse head. I don't know why.
Yeah, that is horse-like head. Yeah. Kelsey, do you know what a Calicothere looks like?
No.
Hold up.
I had an image in my head, but her description just kind of fully swapped that, and now I'm picturing a cat with the head of a horse.
Alright, I'm going to shoot you one real quick. I know we're getting off topic here talking about this, because this This is a different animal that's proposed for other cryptids. That's a
What the
colicotherium.
heck?
Yeah, they were big too, like horse-like size.
Looking at that makes me really uncomfortable. I wish it had a tail, and its back legs were higher. Or,
Well, interesting. They evolved into two groups, and one of the groups of them um, ended up becoming more like regular animal-like almost. Here's the Kelsey. Here's the other Clicothere lineage. What do you
I like
think?
that one more.
Dome on the head, though. Page. That's
You
the
could
other
really
one.
ram into things.
That's option 2.
Oh.
But
I
no.
like the glowing eyes too.
Well, that's like the Hogwartus?
Trichorex hogwartus, like Pachycephalosaurs.
Yeah.
Dome skulls, they keep evolving. They're one of those things that continues. Like how we see Sabertooth keep coming up. So, yeah, back on the Delali, this one actually had a bounty on it in 1912, but it was never claimed. So, no one ever got it. Next one is the Dingonek, which is, once again, a weird one. It was described as having scales and potentially being a reptile with tusks or fangs and 16 feet long. Once again, absurdly huge if it's a cat. It lives in Kenya and Tanzania, and that's all I got.
16 feet long and has scales?
Yeah, potentially scales.
And it's a cat.
Potentially. Or a reptile, who knows?
It definitely sounds more lizard-like.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes it's attributed to water lions, which is what we're talking about here.
Aw.
Next, we go into the Moru Nago. This one is also actually known as a water leopard. It is described as 8 to 12 feet long, more realistic, brownish fur, striped or dappled, small head, leopard-like tail, and large fangs. It is nocturnal, amphibious, and roars and hunts in pairs to kill elephants, hippos, and will attack people too. It lives in caves along riverbanks, which is similar to mountain tigers living in caves. It's reported in the Central African Republic and Chad, and this one actually does have notable sightings to it. In 1910 or 11, one overturned a boat and dragged a French African rifleman underwater and killed him. Then, in 1930, one was reported eating from a dead hippo, so actually eating the hippo. And in 1936, one was reported to have taken multiple men from a village in Dogolomondiji in Central African Republic. And then in the 1950s, oh, I forgot to make this a separate bullet point here. One was caught and killed in the Bangoran River. Allegedly, the cranium was preserved and kept in the village, but no one's been able to find any confirmation on this.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know. That's a long time to keep a cranium.
Yeah.
It's probably considered like a holy item or a sacred item there.
That would make sense.
It's one of the legendary beasts killed, which is insane. It's like if you think about it, if say like medieval Christians killed a dragon, they'd probably keep something of it and keep it as like a artifact.
Or
not be
conquer.
shared.
I conquered this.
Yeah. So, we have one more water line to go over, and that's the Ngoroli. Now, we're going to look at the Ngoroli, which is one from the Vovodo River in Chad. It is described as 10 foot long and 4 foot 6 inches tall. Very specific. Hairy and with tusks. It kills hippos, crocodiles, and fish. And it is nocturnal and lives in caves and along riverbanks, which is a recurring theme here. And okay, go ahead.
Attack hippos.
Yeah, I don't know what beef they got with hippos. These are hippo haters out here.
They really are. Like, what did the hippos do to them? How can they hate them so much?
Kelsey, how much do you know about how hippos are in the wild?
Oh, I know they're pretty aggressive. They're kind of just assholes.
They're aggressive, territorial. They'll kill anything. if an antelope gets too close, they're killing the antelope. If a crocodile gets too close, they're ganging up and killing that thing. Doesn't matter if it's a predator or not. The hippo will fight anything that gets
That's
too
why
close
I
to it.
love hippos.
So I wouldn't be surprised if these water lions would fight back. So
I guess that's fair.
I'm just curious if they like caves because they're likely to either one have water systems running through them, or two, they're like moist.
they're also nocturnal animals. So if you're a
Well,
nocturnal animal, you want to hide somewhere that isn't light during the day.
yeah, but if they like the water,
Could be that too.
I don't know. I was just thinking that in my head.
So another thing on the water lions, that this is something that some people will point out, that there is a cave painting at Brockfontein Ridge in South Africa. It shows a walrus-like animal attacking something like a porcupine. Some think that it could be a water lion being depicted, or some inland African walrus. I don't know how that one makes sense, but it could be. And there is actually one final African potential saber-tooth cat to go over, and that's the Malagasy tiger, which is in Madagascar. It is reported to live in caves, and some say it may be saber-tooth, which is unlikely because the island has no native cats to it, but the depictions of it being a saber-tooth cat aren't as often, but there is a cryptid cat in Madagascar. I care more about the cryptid lemurs of Madagascar, which are really cool.
Sounds like that's a topic for another episode.
I do have that on my list of episodes for later.
Nice.
So, we're going to head down to South America now. You guys ready for that?
Yes.
Absolutely.
So, similar to Africa, I almost said South Africa. So, similar to Africa, saber-tooth cats lived in South America, and there was also a saber-tooth marsupial, Thylicus smilus, that I mentioned earlier. But the main saber-tooth cat was Smilodon. So there was 3 different types of Smilodon in between North and South America. There was Smilodon populator, Smilodon fatalis, and Smilodon. What was the third Smilodon? I have to know because one of the ones in South America was like larger than all the others. There was fatalis, gracilis, and populator. So yeah, 3 Smilodons. 2 of them were in South America, 1 in North America, but one of the 2 South American ones was huge compared to the others. So, I'm going to get into this. So I'm going to start with the Tigre dantero. So to start our trek in South America, we're going to start with the Tigre dantero, which is also known as the Wararima. I don't know how to say this. I'm butchering these words again. And the Acavar specimen. It is reported from high-altitude rainforests in the country of Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, and Venezuela. It's described as having brown fur with stripes about the size of a jaguar, short tail, and having fang teeth. They are wary of humans and elusive, which isn't unusual for cats, let alone any predator. It is known that hold up, sorry. What the? I don't even know. I didn't even finish this sentence apparently when I typed it. So this one actually has been cited by Westerners, which is interesting because not all of these cats have been cited by Westerners, and it's they describe it similar to a saber-toothed cat. I do have 3 notable sightings here on this one actually. So sometime before 1966, a Frenchman named Piquet told a wilderness writer named Peter Matheson that he had spotted one of these animals, but didn't take too much importance in it, which is weird when you're seeing an animal that doesn't exist anymore and you don't take much importance because you know what? Just another Wednesday seeing a living Smilodon. And that your guys' Wednesdays, right?
Absolutely. Every Wednesday.
Yep. So the second sighting is from a Piemont hunter named Terson Sosa in 1991. He saw a fanged cat, but with no pattern, drinking from a pool of water. And the third and final sighting is from a what's called a mutant jaguar that was shot and killed in Paraguay in 1975. Zoologist Juan Acava Akavar, I think that's how you say it, identified it as a Smilodon from the remains, but it's formally recognized as a mutant jaguar, so just a jaguar that had a mutation that gave it longer teeth, which does happen in cats today. And I saw a cute picture of it. Sometimes there's domestic cats that have a mutation where their canines are longer and their little teethers point out.
That's so cute.
So it's possibly a jaguar with that.
It's like when Marley does it.
So we're going to move on to the water tigers now of South America. So they're like the water lions of Africa. So the first we're going to do is the Ipa. It's spelled AYPA. The Ipa is the first of the water tigers we'll go over. It is a water tiger from Brazil's Amapá state, and it has the head and neck of a tiger with 2 long teeth, but it gets weird from here. It's described as potentially having scales, but could also be glossy fur from like water and getting wet. So that's where it's interesting in between fur and scales, and it was first reported in the 18th century by a French missionary. So that's all I have for that one. Next up, we got the Maipolina, also known as a popoke or water mother. It is described as being 9 foot 9 inches long and 3 foot 3 inches wide. Very specific measurements.
It is very specific.
Yeah, I don't. How do you get the inches? 3 foot 3 inches.
Yeah.
I'd just say 3 feet. Fuck it.
Round up 3.5.
Well, then you're going out over the 3 foot 3 inches then, Sage. Come on.
Everyone knows that everyone rounds up by multiple inches.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot.
It's a common occurrence.
I'm 6 foot tall, in case you're wondering. I'm no longer a short king. I shed my short king status.
Yes. Yes,
Dang.
indeed.
That's one hell of a growth spurt in a couple years.
So back on our incredibly specific sized water tiger, it is described with short fur, fawn colored, white fur on the chest, and white stripes that are 5 inches wide. Once again, specific measurements.
I'm curious if they found a dead one and just measured it.
Yeah, there's no report of a dead one for this one. There is for a later one, there actually is. So it has large brown eyes, drooping ears, claws, a tufted tail like a cow, and tusk like a walrus, or better said as saber-teeth. They reside in the Maroni River in French Guiana. They live in caves along the riverbanks, which I keep saying. They would lead the hunt, whether it be swimmers or fishermen on canoes. This one is one that allegedly hunts people, a man-eater. On October 21st, 1962, a boy fell into the Maroni River, and when his dead body was found, it was partially devoured, and some attributed it to the Maipolina. A few have also claimed to see the animal. A native Oyampi tribe member claimed to have witnessed one attack a canoe and take the man away who was on it, and some have reported seeing it basking on rocks along riverbanks. But this one is, if I'm not mistaken, a cat, a saber-toothed cat that they are describing. Not as ambiguous. However, well, I'll get into it later, one of the possible explanations. We now move on to the Onca tigre, which is a more recent one. The Onca tigre was first sighted between 2010 and 2013 from Amana and Mamaria. I probably butchered that. Sustainable Development Reserve in Brazil. It resembles a large jaguar without a tail, backwards forepaws, which I don't understand that, possibly just from after getting killed. Short, I didn't even mention that yet. Short hair on the back and long hair on, I have short hair on the back and long hair on its back. Oh crap, I wrote that. Short hair somewhere, long hair somewhere else, but I put both on the back.
I would assume short hair on the head.
Yeah.
Like so it wouldn't block vision or anything like that.
But I think it might have been neck, yeah. But the colors were black on top, pale yellow on the chest and neck, and white on the other side. It was first seen dead by a local fisherman and described by him and his wife. There were 3 dead specimens total found over that time, and the third one is allegedly attacked livestock and had been killed, and that one had saber teeth. The first two did not. Only the third one did. But nobody preserved the dead specimen. Another one lost to time. And then the last one for South America that I'm going over, because there's a lot of obscure ones, but I did not put them on here. There's some that might be ground sloths, which doesn't make sense, but that's for a different episode. So we have the Yaquaru. So this is found in Paraguay and Argentina. It is described as having a woolly hide the size of a donkey, or as I saw it, the size of an ass. That's how it's described in one book, the size of an ass.
Oh.
Love that.
Did he got dumpy?
Oh my
He
god.
must.
So it has a long face, erect ears, powerful claws, and tusk-like teeth. Some of these are not all attributes of a cat. So it usually hunts cattle and horses. It's an ambush predator that lies in deeper water and rests on riverbanks. In 1752, Thomas Faulkner got a good glimpse of one before it submerged itself underwater. And that's what I have for South America. Guys ready to go to the good old North America?
Yep.
Yeah. I'm
right.
shocked that there was one in North America.
Oh, well, Smilodon existed in North America and South America, and so did Homotherium in North America. Homotherium was in North America, Africa, and Asia. A very wide-ranging animal. Like, saber-toothed cats were around in a lot of the world. And there's a variety of them, but they died out not too long ago. I really hope they're still around.
I hope they are too. I wouldn't doubt that in South America they'd still be around. I mean, the Amazon rainforest is massive, and there's so much we haven't explored.
Well, I'll give my final thoughts in a bit, but I have some hope and doubt. So, on to the next continent, North America. So this is another area that historically, as I said, has saber-toothed cats, most notably Smilodon. So for this one, I'm going to go over a few sightings, as it's not like the other ones where there's multiple cryptids. So our first sighting is from 1913. It is alleged that U.S. cavalry in Arizona shot and killed 2 saber-toothed cats. The whereabouts of the bodies or any evidence has seemingly been lost, and this has been passed down from a museum curator who got this information to some cryptozoologists in early 2000. And then we go to 1929, where businessman Colonel R.B. Pearson was traveling around with a beast described similar to that of a saber-toothed cat and showed it to some people. Descriptions varied, but it was like 800 pounds, would roar, had features like a tiger, puma, and a gorilla. So I don't know how you get that together. I know. Trust me, this one always weirds me out because I don't understand it. Pearson claimed they captured it around Mexico City in 1928, so not far from like where we were hearing the Arizona thing. However, on his way to D.C. to have it identified and cataloged, there was an accident in Iowa, and the animal escaped. After the escape, he described it more like a gorilla than a cat, and it was actually harmless. But they never recaptured it to our knowledge.
That's suspicious.
Yeah, this one's very suspicious.
That's so weird.
I know. And then we got 2 more. In 1946, a man named Jerry Padilla claimed that a deceased relative had seen one in 1946 in the remote mountains of northern Mexico. Another mountain saber-toothed cat. It was similar colors to a lion. And then we go to 1994 for the last North American sighting. Roberto Guertes saw one in northern Mexico, and that's about it for that. So that's the North American sightings.
Other than that one that was passing through, that escaped, the rest of them are seen in Mexico.
Yeah, but the ones that were shot were in Arizona, which isn't far from Mexico.
So what would that say about the kind of weather?
I mean, if you think about weather-wise, saber-toothed cats were found in Asia, like northern Asia, so like we're talking like tundra.
Like Siberia?
Yep. They've recently found a frozen cub of a Homotherium like 2 months ago.
I think I did see that.
So that's a saber-toothed cat we do have a preserved one from now. They lived throughout Africa, the plains of North America, the jungles of South America.
So would it just be an adaptation because we don't have those kinds of weather patterns?
Like
the cold?
I guess. I mean, there's different subspecies that all specialize for their environments.
That's true. I'm not really well versed in subspecies. But...
Well, lastly, we're going to go to Asia now, and we have 2 here to talk about, but not much as the other 3 continents, really. First, we head over to China and look at a report from 1994 that was posted online. The person who reported this said they saw a 12 to 16 foot long cat, absolutely insane size again. The fur was white with yellow vertical stripes. It had large canine teeth like a saber-toothed cat. This was reported in the Shenanjia region of China. Probably butchered that too, which I do not know where that is. I'm going to be honest. I don't know the map of China. China is huge. This is a higher elevated area, and apparently these cats have been seen for some time and even killed by locals. No evidence seems to have been kept from the ones they've killed, but they go by, I guess the name for this cryptid cat is Guo Shangjong. No, Guan? Goose? No, Gushan Huang. I think I got that right. What do you guys think of my pronunciations today?
I'm just rolling with it.
Better than I could do.
You should see how these are written in notes because I don't know how to say these. So many like symbols on letters have been lost because I don't know how to type them. It's just ugly. So next we're going to go to one that is debatable on if it's a saber-tooth or not. This is the Cigau. And this one I know to pronounce it because I've watched videos and read about it actually because I find this one interesting. This is a cryptid cat from the island of Sumatra in Indonesia. It shares the same location as the orang pendek, another cryptid, which both the orang pendek deserves its own episode, and the Cigau, probably later I might make an episode just on this one. Just a quick heads up to people that we're going to be doing it, I think, in a few months. Sage and I are going to possibly pilot doing our regular weekly episodes and every other Friday doing a short episode for people on top of that too. So I can talk about stuff like the Cigau, which is not going to get its a full episode. I don't think I can justify an hour on it, but I can justify 15 to 30 minutes on it.
I think that's a great idea.
Thanks. There's our first feedback, Sage. There's a lot of small cryptids. Like this thing here is a cryptid grab bag. There's like 20 different ones I'm talking about here. I could easily do like a handful of them for 15, 30 minutes and do that for we're still workshopping the name for Fridays. But going back to this animal, it's sometimes called a golden lion because of the yellow coat and silver mane it has. It is described to have a stockier build and longer front arms with a shorter tail. A stance similar to a hyena because it kind of slopes. And it is smaller than tigers, which are also in the area. Darren Naish, who I've mentioned before, he's a paleontologist and dabbles a bit in cryptozoology. Highly respect his opinions. He theorized that it could be a Homotherium, a saber-toothed cat, because of its short tail and long and stocky arms. Because Homotherium was in, I don't think they found evidence in Sumatra, but it's not on, it's based on other areas it's been in. It's plausible that one could make it there. So that is what I have for Asia then, and all the continents. So I'm going to go into some of the theories and explanations, which I'm going to be honest, because I took so long to write this, I just have a blank page here, but I know what I'm going to say.
Okay.
For some of the theories that could be, is that it could be these could be still living saber-toothed cats. Whether it be, if you look into Africa, it could be a Marcarioideus, Homotherium, Dinophilius, Metallurus, I don't know how to say that, and Meganterion, which all existed in those areas at one point or another, or it could be a descendant of these animals, like an evolutionary stage afterwards, because do you guys know much about evolution between, not evolution, fossilization between the two of you?
I know. My understanding is it has to be near perfect conditions for something to be able to fossilize. Like the ground covering, I guess, has to be like very quick. It's not something that doesn't allow I don't know, for it to
Doesn't
degrade.
allow it to fully break down.
Yeah.
Kelsey, what do you know about fossilization?
Same thing.
Now, do you guys know where fossilization rarely occurs? Mountains.
Because things are like it slides.
You don't have as much river stuff to automatically cover stuff.
That's fair.
You can't fall into a riverbank or in the water and get covered over immediately. You are less likely to find fossils in the mountainous areas. Like, if it lived in the mountains. Current day mountains, you can find fossils there because of tectonic plates, but what you're finding was not a mountainous region before, most likely.
Okay.
So mountains are not good places for fossilization to occur. So we're talking about almost all of these, if you notice, this white saber-toothed cat from China, high elevation location. North America, we're talking about the mountainous areas of Mexico and Arizona. The ones in the Tigre d'Antero in what's it called? I'm trying to think of the name all of a sudden. South America, high elevation mountainous areas. The Tigre de Montaña, those are mountain tigers. These are not highly fossilized areas. The theory goes that these saber-toothed cats still exist, and that it could be one of those ones I mentioned. So, like the ones I already listed, that would have been for Africa. And then if we go to North America, we could be seeing Homotherium or Smilodon. And if you look in Asia, you could also be looking at Megantherion, I believe, and Homotherium. And if you go down to South America, you're looking at Smilodon. But the idea is that some of them evolved or adapted into these higher areas as other large cats started outcompeting them in their areas. Because the idea, this is proposed by Bernard Heuvelman in one of his books, which I don't have the book. I'm just going off what other books said, because his book, if I want to get it, is one, expensive, and two, in French.
Just learn French.
Yeah.
Seems pretty easy.
See how that's going today with me butchering every word. But Heuvelman theorizes that they're in these new niches, whether it's in the mountains or the rivers, because they are outcompeted by lions, leopards, and cheetahs. And then in South America by jaguars, that they adapted into these areas. And I'm going to build on that theory on something I believe is that these animals might have adapted to those areas, and we don't have fossils to show that. But what we're seeing is you don't see, for these mountain tigers sightings and water lions and water tigers, you don't see many sightings of them anymore. I'm thinking if they really are animals, we got lucky to hear stories of them, the last of their kind, that they were going extinct. That Ennedi Tiger that guy saw that took that kill, it used to live in that cave. They emphasized then one was no longer at that rock shelter cave, but it used to live there. So these animals, most like if they're real, which I'll give my more final thoughts, they possibly existed up into like the 1700s to early 1900s and went extinct in the last 100 years, and that's why we don't see them anymore. So that's one of the theories. The other is that these could be, well, first off, one of the other theories is also that what we're seeing in South America could also not be a Smilodon, but Thylacosmilus, which is something that Bernard Heuvelman, I believe, entertains that idea that it could be Thylacosmilus, which I think we have, like, just from fossil evidence, that Thylacosmilus went extinct because of the Great American Biota Exchange, which is when South and North America combined through Panama. And what you had was South America was full of these really weird ungulate mammals that are not really that closely related to anything else. Xenarthrids, large birds, and marsupials. And they went up to North America, and North American placental animals came down to South America. Smilodon, I believe, outcompeted Thylacosmilus, and that's why that disappeared. And I believe it disappeared before. And sorry for the clicks I just did there. My throat is a bit scratchy. And because you see this as like ground sloths, anteaters, armadillos, and possums. No, sorry, never mind. Scratch possums from that. But armadillos, anteaters, and sloths were xenarthrids, a weird group of mammals. Sloths came up to North America, and ground sloths did pretty well for a while. Armadillos still exist up here, and anteaters and armadillos and sloths all still exist in South America. Well, Thylacosmilus and other marsupials did not do well, and the only marsupials we really have are some possums in North and South America. And but we see plenty of mammals that started in North America succeeding in South America, so that's why I don't think Thylacus smilus is likely.
Also, some possums?
There's some possum species.
Yeah, you said it like it was a bad thing.
I did not mean to make it sound like a bad thing. Possums are good. They eat ticks.
Possums are awesome.
Yeah, they're marsupials
They
in
are
case you
pretty
didn't know.
wonderful.
Don't run them over, everybody, with your cars.
Yeah. And then there's the weirdo armadillo, which is from a interesting group of mammals.
Armadillo.
So
I wish we had armadillos up here.
The giant roly-poly.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're so cute.
Apparently they carry leprosy, though, a lot.
Leprosy.
What was that?
You don't know?
What?
Sid the Sloth, my dude. Leprosy.
Okay. But,
Ice Age.
Alright.
I'll figure your shit out.
Okay, I'll try and figure that shit out, I guess.
I think I know what you guys are going to be watching tonight.
Yeah, the Penguins versus the Flyers in hockey. That's what we'll be watching tonight.
That is.
I was thinking Ice Age.
No,
Nope.
I'll make him do it though, because there's one about dinosaurs. So
Yeah, I remember watching that one.
Dinosaurs. That's the best one.
I remember watching that one with my mom. She took me to the theater to watch it, and I liked it a lot. But we keep again sidetracked. Also on the hockey thing. Hopefully Crosby's back in tonight because I want to see him beat the Flyers because that man hates the Flyers.
Yeah. How much longer are you thinking?
Not too much longer.
Okay.
So the other theory goes that these are just misidentified animals, or people don't know what they're seeing, or they're hoaxes. Like the North American ones, there isn't much to them on these stories. They could just be made up stories. Same with the white saber-toothed cats of China. The Cigau is an interesting one because, from what I've seen, it does seem like there might be an actual animal there, but it might not be a saber-toothed cat because that's one of the theories. Now, you look at the South American ones, sometimes the Tigre Dontero might just be mutant jaguars, ones that have mutations that allow for longer teeth. But you go down to the water tigers, there's the belief that they're actually giant otters, just with longer teeth. Because giant otters do exist in South America. They are huge.
Are they just as cute as like river otters?
Yes, but they are very aggressive. They are river otters. They're giant river otters. They are aggressive. They eat caimans and other stuff.
Like the crocodile?
Yes.
God damn.
Let me make sure. I believe they do. Kelsey, do you know about giant river otters?
No.
Oh man.
I know they exist, but that's about it.
Let me see. Do giant river and eat caimans is one of the top results. The giant river otter almost exclusively subsists almost exclusively on a diet of fish, particularly characins and catfish, but may also eat crabs, turtles, snakes, and small caimans.
Turtles?
Wow.
So yeah. So some people think, because sometimes these water tigers are described as being otter-like. But if you look at a giant river otter, they're large. They are not small animals. And there are actually extinct ones that were even larger. So maybe we could also be looking at a giant, a surviving extinct giant river otter.
Think 6 feet 6 inches tall and 3 feet 3 inches wide? That giant?
Yeah. Actually, yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm looking at this estimate of a fossil one, and it's like maybe like 7 feet long. Giant river otters got big.
Pretty big.
Yeah. Oh, length. Yeah, here it is. Length. 4.9 to 5.6 feet in length. And they can weigh up to like 71 pounds.
Wow.
And they live in families, like little packs. So that could be what they're seeing. And then when it goes to Africa, it could just be misidentification of other animals, whether it be unknown animals or not. And also some of them could be hyenas is one thing. Or they could also be cryptid hyenas, which is what the Ennedi bear might be. So that is what some of the theories are for these. Sorry I didn't write much on these, but that's a lot of the possible explanations, animals like that, or misidentification. Now, let me find this one again. The Malagasy tiger, though, the one in Madagascar, so they have an animal there called a, let me check, I believe it's a fossa, and there did used to be it's a fossa, so that's Fossa. There did used to be a larger prehistoric one, so it might be one of those, is what some think. And it can be easily mistaken for cat-like. And they think it could be a large, like a giant extinct one, instead of it actually being a saber-toothed cat. Because it's not always described as having saber teeth. So, those are the theories. I'm going to give real quick my 2 cents on what I think might be the case. I think that what I said earlier, these animals, some of them like the Ennedi Tiger and the mountain tigers and the Tigre dantero and possibly the North American Smilodons, I think they all existed and that people did see them. But I think what happened was these were the last of their kinds, and we saw them at the end of their lineage. That they are gone. They most likely are gone now. Like that one in Senegal, that the hunters are say like, oh yeah, it definitely did exist, but it's gone now. I think it's one of those cases where it's a cryptid because we saw it in its final time, and I think that's why there is some of the cryptids out there. I said it. I think with Champ too. That Champ might have been the type of animal, and the Yeti that was on decline, and they're in areas that you wouldn't really see fossils anytime soon, and we saw the last of them, and now they live on in legend and folklore in what we think, like in our tales from now, and that's why we do episodes on stuff like it now, because somebody saw something, and I think there's a really good chance that it was a legitimate animal. So I'm going to ask you guys on your final thoughts. Sage, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. Like, thinking from a scientific perspective, like, it makes sense that these animals would probably go extinct, like, as humans' populations grew, I guess. As, like, we took over habitable land for them, took over, like, they're not able to get the food that's going to sustain large cats like that, in areas where it's, like, obviously not, like, the Sahara and stuff like that, where, like, lions and tigers and stuff can exist freely, because there's no humans living there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, I guess I could understand why in places where, like, the human habitation has increased, obviously these couldn't sustain, like, their population. Does it make me sad? Yeah, because I think this is a really, like, it's not unique, but it's a very interesting, like, idea that there's, because, like, you think of, like, the dodo bird is in, like, recent times, isn't it? Like, that went extinct in,
I believe 1600s is when we killed them out. I mean,
yeah, like, that's not that long ago. So for, like, these animals to, like, go extinct in, like, the lifetime of America.
Yeah, well, if you think even more recent, the thylacine only went extinct in the 1900s due to human overhunting of them because we moved sheep into the area. Thylacines would hunt them, and so we started killing them all.
Yeah, so I mean, that's, like, kind of where my brain is. So, like, I truly believe that the sightings that you had, for the most part, were like, true sightings of things. I feel like there's a few in there where I was like, there's either not enough information, which, like, kind of gives me Bigfoot vibes.
Yeah, well,
Or
this one has not a lot of physical evidence to it.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
exactly.
eyewitness and
Speculation too.
Yep, and that's one of the tough things about this animal, and I think that's also part of the nature of cats. They're elusive animals. They do not like to be seen. They are very stealthy. I mean, there's so many mountain lions out there in some areas, but you almost never see them.
Yeah.
Cats are meant to be more stealthy animals. They are evolved and adapted to be that way.
Yeah. So that I guess that would be my thoughts.
All right, Kelsey, how about you? What do you think?
I will be fully honest. I kind of forgot we were talking about cryptids because I don't know, they feel like these could be real. And they were at some point in time. And I wouldn't doubt if there are still some in South America, but better hidden. Not coming out by humans as much, or the tribes in South America, specifically, I'd say around, like, the Amazon and the Amazon River. Yeah. They're not going to talk about them to people. They're going to know it exists, but not really tell anyone about it.
Yeah, for, like, outside interference. Like,
Yeah.
What was that?
Like, to reduce outside interference. Because like if you tell people in the United States that there's something going on down there,
then they're gonna go extinct.
Yeah, like we're gonna go figure it out and then kill them all.
And one thing that's interesting is like, sorry to just build off your stuff. Sorry about interrupting, but there's a lot of animals out there that like, were once cryptids, but locals insisted that they are real, and the animals they are describing are within realistic possibility. Gorillas and okapis are two really good examples of once cryptids, and locals said that they were real, and the indigenous population were aware of it, but we were like, that can't exist, and we eventually discovered it.
Yeah.
So, what? Do you have any other thoughts on it, Kelsey?
Like, I could see the ones in Asia and North America being already extinct animals, but I think in South America, I could see them fully being real and not cryptid.
What about the African ones?
I forgot about that. We talked about African ones. I'm sorry.
That's all good. That was like the first half of this. But that was
those ones I could see also being real, but gone extinct at some point. For the same reasons both of you said.
So then, you basically gave your order. Sage, on those 4 continents, what order do you give on them existing? Most likely to least likely.
Existing now? Or existing in what capacity?
At some point existing.
I think they all existed at some point.
Then to now, what do you think? What would you rank it?
I agree with Kelsey's assessment of South America because there's so much of that we have yet to discover. Whereas in like Africa, it's plains more. Like it's flatter. Listen, I'm bad at geography, so just tell me if I'm wrong. But like I feel like it's easier to see in
which country?
In Africa.
No, we're talking about very rainforest, mountainous areas.
Okay, well, I would still say that the Amazon is probably harder to navigate. So I'd probably go Amazon first, as the most likely. Africa second.
All right, I will say I'm going to honestly go Africa.
What was the other two?
Asia and North America.
Probably then Asia and then North America. I feel like it ain't happening in North America, not with the way that the United States is industrialized.
Of possibly still being around, I would have put Africa first with the Ennedi Tiger, that followed by South America with the Tigre Dantero, and followed by North America, Smilodon in Mexico, and then South America, Asia, which I don't really believe, the white saber-toothed cat, that's 12 to 16 foot long, and the Cigau, I don't think is a Homotherium, at least from what I saw, so I don't think that would be a surviving saber-tooth. I think that's a whole different animal. But part of the reason I did this episode is when I learned about the Ennedi Tiger, it fascinated me because this is, in the term of cryptids, cryptozoology is supposed to be the study of unknown animals, and stuff like Mothman, Van Meter Visitor, and that stuff, we call them cryptids and all, but for the actual definition of cryptozoology, they very loosely apply to that because we're talking more extraterrestrial stuff. Like the flatwoods monster that people put in cryptozoology, but that's most likely an alien. But the Ennedi Tiger, that's a flesh and blood animal, a realistic animal we're talking about here, which I think has a good chance of living. We know saber-toothed cats live there, and they could possibly make it this far. I think there was a chance, but that's the tough thing is these aren't your big name, flashy creatures that people are going to follow along with. So that's my final thoughts on it. I really hope we could find it, but I don't think we're going to. I think they're probably extinct by now, and that's just the tough thing you gotta say. And there is also a high likelihood that none of these existed in the first place, just because you don't have any evidence. But yeah, I don't think we'll ever get a clear answer.
Probably not. That seems to be the case with most things that we consider to be cryptids.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, this isn't the type of cryptid you typically have pop culture in, if you think about it.
Other than Diego.
Yeah, I was going to mention, like, things with, Smilodon and saber-toothed cats do appear in pop culture and whatnot, whether it be from Ice Age, in movies like 10,000 BC, or, actually, a hockey team, the Nashville Predators, who suck right now, and I'm okay with saying that. They slashed my captain, okay? The goalie slashed Crosby, and I don't appreciate it. But their logo is the National Predators is a saber-toothed cat, which I think is cool. I appreciate prehistoric animals on team logoing, especially one that could be a cryptid. Because I mean, what we've mentioned, hockey is probably the most friendly to having cryptid mascots. You got the Springfield Thunderbirds, the Tahoe Night Monsters after Tahoe Tessie, the Cleveland Monsters after the Lake Erie Monster. I mean,
Seattle Kraken.
Yep, Seattle
Jersey
Kraken.
Devils.
Yep, almost Utah Yetis, which they might keep their name as the Utah Hockey Club and make their logo a Yeti.
I almost bought I almost bought a Predators hat at the store the other day on clearance for $6, and then I decided that was too much money to spend on Predators gear.
Fair enough.
Wasn't a jersey.
They suck right now, so fair enough.
They're on my shit list.
They lost 6-2 to the Blackhawks last night, and that was funny.
Yeah.
All right. Then, yeah, that's what I have in that. I think I gave fairly good final thoughts. Yeah. It's looking like after editing and whatnot, this is going to fall short of the Yeti length, but we're looking at almost an hour and a half of an episode.
Damn.
Nice.
So Kelsey, is there anything you want to, give a final thought or plug to our listeners for anything?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Then I think I'm going to do the usual wrap it up type deal. I just want to once again say thank you to Truth is Scarier Than Fiction. Sorry if this was not as good as I was trying to make it, because I know your videos are significantly better than anything I research, but if you're listening, thank you for the information and the help. Hopefully I'll do better on the next one that you shot me some stuff over for, because I'm going to start on that one soon.
I think that you did great. I mean,
there's
more pretty great as well.
More information than I expected. I'm going to be honest. I was a bit overwhelmed the last 2 days, and with the recent issues we've had with our oven and car, I kind of got preoccupied the last 2 weeks with other things than writing.
Yeah, which is fair.
I started writing this 2 weeks ago, and then like everything in personal life was like going to hell, and I'm like, well. And I'm like, oh, crap, I wanted to write this episode early, and now I'm writing it last second. That sucks. Just shout out to him. Go check out his channel if you get a chance. Check out books from people like Karl Marshall, Karl Shuker, and Bernard Wavelman. They have really good information on this stuff. And, if you guys do want to support us, I highly recommend following us on Instagram. I'm still possibly making us a Blue Sky, but like, follow, rate, review, subscribe to the podcast on whatever you listen to. Listen to it, share it to your friends and family. Every little listen happens. Every interaction matters. Every little thing you guys do goes a long way, and I appreciate every little support, and I believe Sage does too. And, if you guys like episodes like this and Dolce Base more where we have guests on, we'll definitely bring more guests on. And let us know, leave us comments and whatnot. And, so follow us on that and help support the podcast. Anything from you, Sage?
I just want to say thank you to Kelsey for joining us.
Yeah, I forgot to say that. Thank you, Kelsey.
Really, nice. Thank you for having me. I will come back anytime.
We love having you here. Hopefully, we can have you more often.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. This has been a lot of fun.
So then, I think, are we ready for the sign-off?
I think so.
All right. So, remember.
To look for.
The unknown.
The unsolved.
And the unseen.
Bye, guys.